you guys get Bedhead Betty this morning. I've already went live on TikTok. That'll be dropping here for you guys here in just a little bit. But I wanted to go live before I started getting into my day because my day is already, it's Manic Monday. It's Manic Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. We're starting it out right. Oh, I feel so bad, man. I woke up. I didn't get to bed until after. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I'm still so tired. It's crazy because it was just so hot out there yesterday, y'all, and it was hot. That's all I can say. It was extremely, extremely hot, and I think it drained me. I stopped by my best friend's house just to kind of relax. It was just. And then it started pouring down rain on us on the way, or rain on me on the way home. But Laura and I were sitting in our garage, and I was getting ready to leave, and I'm like, we just heard this marine advisory on the phone saying, this is an emergency. Everybody, hunker down, get out of the water, basically. And there was a major storm coming through, and then all of a sudden the news has this water spout, like we got a water spout, a perfect water spout coming toward the land. I think it was in Tampa somewhere, or the Tampa Bay area. And I'm like, okay, I need to go. And right about there, the freaking, it just opened up and just started just pouring down rain. So I sat there for a few more minutes, and I'm looking at the time. I couldn't get anything working on my phone because I've got some data stuff I got to resolve today. That's which is probably going to be taking the bulk of my time today. And, so I came back here and ended up going live, talk about Sebastian, but we had quite the day yesterday. It was sad. It was, it seems like whatever they were doing out there, they're probably going to have a few more people out there, but I think for the most part, the bulk of the investigation has wrapped up because they actually took the main command center out of there. That main command center has been there since I didn't see it come and go, but I wasn't there first thing in the morning either because I knew how hot it was going to be, and I was trying to wait until the afternoon when it cooled off because it's too hot. I mean, when I left here yesterday to head there, it was 98 degrees. Okay. And it sucks because I have to run the car. I can't turn the car off because I have all my equipment in my car. You can't leave the equipment that I have in a hot car. It will ruin your equipment. So no matter where I go, when it's that hot, the car has to run the entire time. I can't turn the car off. And it just is what it is. So anyways, guys, we were talking about Sebastian Rogers. We've been talking about Sebastian Rogers. We've been breaking down the case of Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home. Nothing makes sense on his disappearance. There's no evidence that he walked out of the house willingly. He left his shoes behind, even though he is accustomed to always putting his shoes on before he leaves the house. It's just one of his tics. We find that his switch is very important to him, as it is with most autistic children in their video games. And so we equate the switch as almost like Sebastian's purse, if you will, all right? And, I take his shoes as his keys. You can't leave the house without your keys, and you can't leave your house without your purse, and you can't leave your house without your cell phone. And so I'm looking at it like that, and when I change the story around and I come to the audience and I tell everybody in the audience and I say, hey, we have a new case. The new case is we have this boyfriend that says he went to bed at midnight, and when he woke up, his girlfriend left the house, and she left her purse, her cell phone, and her keys at the house when she left, and she locked the house up, and everybody is, it's the boyfriend, it's the boyfriend, it's the boyfriend. No way would that lady walk out of the house without her purse. No way would that lady walk out of the house without her keys. No way would that lady walk out of the house. But yet somehow when we apply it differently and say that an autistic boy disappeared from his home, he didn't leave with his shoes, even though he's putting his shoes on. He didn't leave with his video game. When you look at it that way, we know that in this case, the boyfriend probably did something with his girlfriend, because just the simple fact of what she left behind, it was everything. And then we look over here at this 15-year-old boy, and we're thinking that he, you know, some people are thinking he ran away, but he left everything. What kid do you know that runs away that doesn't take a changing of clothes or a snack or go steal mommy's money out of her wallet so they can buy stuff on the road? You know, indicators that they left or they were willingly walked out the door. We have none of those in this case. We have no stolen money. We have no sighting of him on cameras. I guarantee that they're going to only have, during the time of 3:30 and 4, only one vehicle rolling down the road at that time of night. We've got a lot of questions. And the one thing that doesn't make sense to me is Chris's timeline, because Chris has been so vague. He won't tell us when the last time he saw Sebastian was. He won't tell us where he was when Sebastian disappeared. He always says, oh, law enforcement doesn't want me to tell you anything because it goes to the integrity of the investigation, or privacy, or security, or HIPAA, or, you know, whatever. You guys know. So Chris Proudfoot hasn't told us squat. And then we have this, we really don't know who this Heather Cohen is. You know, obviously she's a musician, and it kind of questions you. Musician, that's a PI, and how long has she been a PI, and really what work has she done as a PI? And, you know, it's just, it's a little odd for me. We don't know her quality of work. We don't have any references, you know, while you BSing. We have none of this stuff, right? And she's the one that tells us that Chris Proudfoot was at work at 5:15. How did she find that out? Chris? And then what did she do to corroborate those statements from Chris? We don't know. She never told us. So can we really believe that he was there at 5:15? I'm here in Florida. I don't know. All I can tell you is people are saying that it's probably not possible. Probably not possible at all. But we don't know. And then last night when I was here, we started talking about this ordinance. Is there this quiet ordinance? Yeah, there is. Multiple people have sent me the noise ordinance statute. The only one I could see that gave me permission to use their name is Susan. And Nola's mom. And the way the ordinance reads is the erection, including excavation, demolition, alteration, or repair of any building, or the excavation of streets and highways in any residential district or section other than between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. on weekdays is prohibited, except in case of urgent necessity in the interest of public health and safety. And then only with a permit from the chief building inspector, which permit may be granted for a period not to exceed 30 days while emergency continues. If chief building inspector determines the public health and safety will not be impaired, thereby that loss or inconvenience will result in a party in interest if such permit is not granted. It says something about residential areas in here. So I have to, being the legal person that I am, I have to look at that because I don't see anything in here for commercial areas. And so that needs to be something that we address. That's why I wanted somebody to go by there and look at that property and see if it's possible that he could have even been there, whether they have a quiet time in that particular sector. It might be outside of that ordinance requirement, but everybody's saying that that's for all of Memphis, that all of Memphis, no matter where you are, whether you're in the city or county, you have this ordinance. I don't know how true that is. I'm not there. I have to go and find that information out, but I can. Maybe I'll call down to their city department and figure out about that ordinance. Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe that's what I will do. I didn't say hi to anybody. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see everyone bright and early. The real me too up in the house. Sam, Emma, it's nice to see you. Manic Mama T, Ashley, Crystal, Natalie, Jossie, Larry, it's nice to see you, Larry and Kim. Sam's Life, Sonia, good morning, love. Cheeky Chops, good morning. Betty Castle, it's nice to see you. Mally Cat, Gigi, Grammys, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have in here? Did I say hi to you, Nola's mom? H. Baker, it's nice to see you. Oh, from St. Pete. Oh, I love it. You're just right over the bridge. I was just near you. I was just near you, love. I love meeting people. Beverly, it's nice seeing you. Lynette, it's great seeing you. GE girl. Pepper Boyd, it's nice to see you. Southern Turtle, it's nice to see you. SRK. DG, GD, GDF, nice to see you up. Nice to see you here. Beanie, Denise, Miss Anonymous, it's nice to see you. Izzy, Hugs Dealers up in the house, it's nice to see you. It's Laura, Sheila, Holla Girl, it's nice to see you. Crystal Pistols, it's a lot of people in here now, but it's nice to see everybody. Oh, Margaret. It's nice to see you from Scotland. How you doing, love? How you doing? So that's where we're at. I don't think Chris was at work at 5:15. I really don't. And, you know, it brings me back to that rumor we heard that there was a meeting that morning. Some type of meeting. So I'm curious. Oh, Dawn, it's nice to see you, love. Marmy, it's nice to see you as well. Danielle, good morning. So I keep wondering, is it possible he could have gotten there later? And right now, more so than I felt a week ago or even 3 or 4 days ago, I feel it's more possible that he was there later than earlier. And I have got to tell you, that might be the piece that I'm missing, but I need confirmation. I need confirmation. So if anybody is out in the Memphis area at all, please send me any kind. If you know when those locks go on that gate, I'd like to see photos or videos or something of the type of gate they have, the type of lock they have. If somebody's out there tonight, apparently they're supposed to be shut down by 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm interested in if that's the case. I'm interested in a lot. I'm interested in a lot. So let me see what we got going on. I see some emails coming in. So let me see if they might have some of the information I need. Oh, this is for a new case. Yeah, I'll have to look into it, but I don't. Oh, wow. Oh. There's a new case, Ariana. I can't pronounce the last name. Ptarsinski. Ptarcinski. I'm horrible with pronunciations. And they're wanting to get a hold of it. This is a case from Hernando County. Ariana was unalived by her boyfriend in the basement of their home while her family was in the home. Oh my gosh. Including her younger sister, mother, and her father. They heard her. The boyfriend came out cover. Oh my. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Wow. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Thank you for that tip. Thank you for that tip. So we definitely have a lot of different things related to the ordinance. There's also another thing I could use a lot of help with, is the audio in the Blob video. I need to find out where those are from, because I don't think they're from the Nick Barris video. I don't think that they're from the video that we can corroborate and link back. So I need to try to find if there are other videos out there, if other videos have been leaked, where these videos came from, who they came from. But I've been trying. I'm done hitting my head against the wall. I can't seem to get these. So maybe if you guys can help me, I'm trying to source those 2 videos so we can find out once and for all whether they're true or not. And the answers I've been getting so far haven't been very good. Not for me. Yeah, I know, Noelle. That's the problem I'm having. That's the only place that's where I'm tracing it back to. And I can't get past that. And nobody can tell me where she got those. Nobody. And I don't know where they came from, you know? And when I went back to the original drop of it, she didn't even know what she was looking at. Like, she obviously didn't create the video. Somebody gave it to her. So who created the video for her? Something's not right in Denmark, and it's being passed around as true. And I'm questioning the audio as well as that blob video very, 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 very highly right at this moment. I can't. Everybody keeps saying it's coming from the Nick Barris video. I've tried to recreate that image, and I can't. Not the audio. I don't know where the audio came from. The audio just came out of left field, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about audio. This is the first I'm hearing of audio. Don't know, but would like to source it. Don't want to say anything inaccurate until I do, if they did great work and found some audio that really is legit audio, kudos to them. We want it passed around. We want people to listen to it and pitch it and find out what they can hear from it. But the problem is I don't believe that's the case. That's the problem. I believe somebody has manipulated something here. And I'm hoping I'm not right about that. I hope nobody would do that. But we know it does happen. It doesn't surprise us if it does happen. So we have to take that into consideration. I can't find it. You guys can't give me any answers as far as where it came from and how can we confirm it. Like, it's coming back to one source, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. There's no point in it, but I've got to go past that. They were posted on, that, and again, that's another problem that we have is that Facebook group. There's been a lot that's been posted on there that has come back absolutely inaccurate. 100% inaccurate. Peddled as true. So, again, I don't know. I really don't. Oh, St. Rocktail, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in here in a while. Good morning. Oh, well, thank you, Dino. It's nice to see you. Zigzag, it's nice to see you as well. I'm not going to be on here too long because I've got a lot of stuff to do today. I want to get some more research done, but I really think we need to hone in on this. I think we have something here. We need to work this. We need to see this through. And if we can do it before I get there, that would be awesome. But if we can't, we're going to confirm it when I get there. We need to know when those gates go on that gate, or those chains go on that gate and lock it down for the night. And we need to know when. Hold on, I just got something else on. I want to check these as we go in case somebody's sending me stuff from.
Here's my statement from the night of Ariana's murder, and why I have a hard time with everything going on.
Oh, well, I might as well see this.
This man has been walking free since 2021. He didn't spend one night in jail. Share this so we can get answers on this case and justice for Ariana. My statement was only taken the night of the incident verbally, when I could not write. Here's my statement about what I witnessed. On December 24th, 2021, it was one of the most devastating and saddest moments of my life. Since then, I've spent more than a year trying to heal with therapy, but I'm still haunted by the memories of that night and fearful of what might happen if the person responsible acts again. It all started as my wife and I were putting presents under the tree. We could hear screams. It took us a second to realize what was going on, but then we heard them louder, and they were chilling. I went out the back door trying to figure out where the noise was coming from, and after a few moments, I heard the direction of the screams and started running that way. Then I heard the door open, and I heard Eddie shouting for help. He said, "We killed her." He slit her throat. I ran back towards the house to tell my wife to call 911, but she was already on the phone with them. I ran back towards Eddie's house to help. I saw a man come out of the house covered in blood. It was shocking. I couldn't believe what I had just seen. It all went so fast, but felt like time had stopped. Eddie was yelling, "You slit her throat. She's dead." The man kept saying, "You just need to put pressure on it." I know I f***ed up, but you just need to put pressure on it. And he continued to yell at him, you f***ing killed my daughter. The man was getting agitated, and at this time I realized he looked crazy. Eddie started to go back in the house to see if he could help. The man then says, I f***ed up. I know I f***ed up. What does it matter? I'm going to jail for life anyway. And then he proceeds to go after Eddie. I could see in his face that he was guilty and was about to cause more harm. I thought to myself, I wasn't going to let anyone else get hurt or lose their life. I hit the man. I was amazed he did not fall. He stumbled though, and I got it and hit him a couple more times. It was adrenaline or drugs, but this guy was out of his mind. I hit him harder than I've hit anything in my life, and he didn't fall. But he finally went to the ground, and at that moment, my 18-year-old son pulled me back towards the house. The 911 operators told my wife, if everyone is in the house, to lock the door and stay inside. The police will be coming through the gate any minute. Well, they did come through that gate, but instead of treating the family like victims of a crime, they were treated like criminals. Thrown to the ground with guns drawn and tossed in the back of patrol cars, taken from their dying daughter. I felt much guilt for not doing more to save Ariana's life, but I shouldn't be the only one with those feelings. Once the officers were there, I went back out to tell them what happened. At that time, Judy and Eddie were both distraught in the back of patrol cars, not allowed to speak to anyone or grieve with their youngest daughter. She was alone with another officer until one of their immediate family members was able to come get her. I felt terrible for them all. They just had to go through this terrifying time, and they were being treated like criminals. That's why this thing is so hard for me, because I've had first-hand account, and my statement has only been taken once. I tried calling the deputies, I tried calling the detectives to offer them more info, and they didn't ever want to hear anything else. So please, share my story, share my account of that night, and help us get justice for Ariana. Thank you.
So people always say,
here's my statement from the night of it.
People always say, you know, if they've got evidence, they'll make an arrest. Well, this is a guy with pretty, you know, a first-hand account of what he saw, and somebody is running free that obviously was able to do something to somebody's throat. And this, you know, if people want to know why they have to have, like this, I don't understand why anybody would not be in a mental ward or in jail after an incident or altercation like that. But to treat the family like the criminals, that is pretty much, is pretty horrible. It's pretty horrible. So definitely a case that is interesting. Oh my goodness. That's the mugshot. Let's see what this one is. This is in Spring Hill. This is in my area. Spring Hill, Florida. Hernando County Sheriff's Department. So we might have another story. If anybody has any information on this particular story that we just kind of presented, please send it over to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Again, it's for Ariana. I can't pronounce the last name, but it looks like Tarsinski. I'm really bad. It's PTARCINSKI. If somebody can put a pronunciation in there for me so I don't butcher this poor girl's name after already being just horrible, you know, just poor girl. Anyway, send me what you guys have on there on this case. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll see if we can reach out to Hernando or see what we can do there, especially if he hasn't been charged or anything else, like what's going on here. I'm not opposed to applying some pressure there at the Hernando County Sheriff's Department. If the family wants to, coordinate something, I'm happy to help with that as well. If they just don't, like if they wanted to do action versus just covering it, I'm happy to help any way I can. All right, guys. Well, I told you I wasn't going to stay on here very long. I'm not going to stay on here very long. I've got a lot of work to do today on the Sebastian Rogers case, as well as some personal matters that I've got to attend to today as well. So I will be back today. This is not going to be the last of it. I've got a video that I just did on TikTok that I've got to clean up a little bit. And then I'll drop that. It's only going to be another half hour or something like that. But come back. I'll have that. We'll have open discussion. Send me your theories on Chris's time. What do you think? If you guys have screenshots of information earlier on from the employer and stuff like that, him getting kicked off, him not really starting work until 7, all of these things, okay? If you guys see any of these things and can capture those things, send those to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you know anybody that was on that job site, that knows that job site, that has worked there, whether they were temporary or permanent, that would be willing to speak to me either on the record or off the record, I will maintain their anonymity and their confidentiality if they so choose. I'm searching for information. I'm not, if I can bring it here, I don't mind talking about it, but I will not bring up your name if you do not want me to bring up your name. I just need confirmation of certain things related to the St. Jude's. Very general stuff that should not get you in any trouble. I will not have you break the law in any way. I just need some general information from somebody that's there. If you are that person, you can reach out to me to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I guarantee if you notice anything about me, one thing I don't do is release my sources. If you don't want it released, I don't release it. The only way anybody will know that you're talking to me is if you tell them. So if you can give me some information, I'm happy to hear it. I'd like to hear it. We need to get down to the bottom of it. We've resolved a lot of things so far by this method. We've been honing in on key aspects of their story. Now it's time for us to turn our sights onto Chris, and eventually we're going to be turning our sights onto Kathy and Terry Bowersox. But we have to resolve these, right? We've resolved the fact that we don't believe he walked out of the house. We resolved the fact that we know that Katie lied to us about the time that she was on the couch from 9 to midnight. We know that. We believe that she lied to us. We don't believe she was asleep at midnight, obviously. And now it's time to find out what Chris was doing. Where was Chris? And how much of Chris's information? Chris, I don't need you to tell me where you were. I'll find out all by myself, and you'll see how crafty I get. So I'd like to know if anybody's out there. Again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I do not believe this man was in his crane at 5:15. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's clear Chris. Okay? Let's get Chris cleared. Everybody send me whatever you got to clear Chris's name. All right? And we'll present the information, the corroborated information as it comes, unbiased. This is what the information we have, and see if his statements to the public hold water. I'm going to message info about Sebastian. Sebastian was on. I have, you know what? I did receive somebody. I've received so many emails. It's been hard. I've been trying to keep them. It's like everything's so important. It's hard to keep track of all of them. But somebody was talking about the medicine and what his reaction would be without being medicated or coming off the medication. It's apparently not good, and something that would be very, very noticeable. Because he wouldn't be, he has problems adapting to strangers and stuff like that, which is what we learned. I know that the lady on one of the channels said he was just so friendly with everybody, But that's kind of funny because we've talked to Chris and Katie, and we've heard their statements. We've heard Seth's statements, and he's had problems meeting people or socializing with people. But once he becomes friends, you know, he's kind of in their personal space. We need to go back and review those things, but I think there might be something very telling in that as well. But we'll see. We'll see how everything falls. The medication I'm definitely interested in on. Hey, Crimecast, it's nice to see you. If she gave one extra for sleep, it could cause a delayed breathing, even death, just by one. Yeah, but I would have to think that they've done that before. And he was older. Because I keep thinking, you know, how many times have we as parents given our children a second dose of cough medicine, or, you know, they're really not feeling well or not doing well, so we've given them an extra dose of, you know, pharmaceuticals that the doctor gave us. But I don't know, you know, you could be very, very right, because I don't know that illness. I don't know the medication. I don't know what medication he was on to sleep with. I don't know the name of it, because every time we try to find out anything, HIPAA, for love of everything holy, it's just been very annoying. So I really don't know. I don't think one extra would do anything. Yeah, it's hard for me to think one. I mean, it seems like if it was medication, it would have had to have been a lot of medication. I mean, even, to be honest with you, even arsenic, right? I mean, like, you use that, a little bit of it, you won't even notice. A lot of it, you do. So, I don't know. I wouldn't bother the hospital, Nola's mom. I would call the county. The county should be able to tell you what what the construction rules are in that area, and they would be the ones that would be able to give us concrete information. You might call the hospital. They may have no clue. But the county or the city limits, if it's in city limits, call the city hall. They would have definitely the answers of what's allowed and not allowed. I think that would be the most appropriate, because they're county employees. They're the ones that are supposed to answer those questions. Just a food for thought. Yeah, exactly, Nola's mom. That would be perfect, because they would be the ones that would need to answer that question. They would be the ones responsible for fielding those questions, and that would be that would be perfect. Let me know what you find out. Christina G says, call the union. Thank you for that update. That's a great idea. Call the union. The union, though, might fall under some type of confidentiality, though, because they're a separate. I'll have to look at unions and find out what public information they're required to put out. That might be an avenue. Might be an avenue. Great idea, though. Great idea. Union. And I didn't think about that, but, you know, Chris might be in a union. Everybody says he got fired from a job. If he's in a union, it'll take an act of Congress to get him fired. He'll have his union rep there and everything else. They will mitigate this. So, you know, I don't know if he was fired from I don't think he was fired from that job. Okay. Apparently he isn't union. So, that resolves that issue. A BHB, does it take less time to get to the job site versus... Oh, that must be my lawn guy. Give me a second. right. Well. My neighbor was bringing me wasn't the lawn guy. Who's this? Aww. I don't want to say your name because I forget your YouTube name, but TR, thank you. Ooh, white chocolate caramel. I am in heaven. Thank you. So I'm definitely going to be popping this. I'm probably going to drink the whole box today. I need it. Oh, good gracious. So anyways, that's where I want to focus. I want to focus on that area. If people are in Memphis and you guys are willing to help, reach out to me. Send me what you guys have. Anything you know. Nola's mom, well, I talk to you all the time in emails, so you know how it's done. You know how it's done. I know. It's like I almost want to make some now, but I'm still on my latte. I still have my latte. I'm drinking my first cup of coffee, but it's not with espresso. It's with Maxwell House. Ugh. I need to go up to the store. I've been on the road. What can I say? So, I don't know. And like I said, if you guys can source the audio, send it to me. I just need to source that audio to make sure it's legit. I don't believe it. I really don't. I think I don't want to discourage you guys. I always want this stuff coming to me. Always send it to me. But I also want to make sure that we're looking at this properly and think about how much time and energy has been wasted on this audio, and nobody can even tell me where it came from. Like, what neighbor? Can somebody just, like, even Nick Barris, his we knew which house it came from. We know. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We know exactly where it came from. We know exactly who recorded it. We know exactly what camera it came from. Like, we have specificity. This stuff here that we're listening to now, I got nothing specific on it, except a creator. That's not good enough for me. I need to know where these things came from, who gave that to her. And I know there's anonymous sources and stuff like that, but come on, like I want to know, who sent this to her? Where did it? Who originated it from? And quit sending me back to the Nick Barris video. There's no audio on Nick Barris video. I can't replicate the blobs on the Nick Barris video. So let's just try to, find out where this came from and see if maybe there's another video that it could have come from before we say it's absolutely irrelevant. I want to give this a push. If it's something that's legit, let's confirm it, right? Let's just get it confirmed. If it's not, it's not. Let's just quit guessing at it and quit passing around stuff. Let's figure out how to confirm this stuff and get it confirmed. Right now, we need to find out where it came from. And is it from a legitimate source? If the people say, look, somebody emailed it to me, I don't know where it came from. It's not from a legitimate source. And that's fine for me. They didn't mean, it's not that they intentionally did this. They're bringing what they heard out. So I get it. But at the end of the day, people are taking it as facts. So at this point, we need to find out if it's legit or not. If nobody knows where it came from and it came anonymously in an email somewhere, then we have our answer. Okay? We're not taking an anonymous email that now has a video with all of a sudden audio on it. If that's what we're going to do, I'm sure I can take the video and put audio behind it. Should I do that? Should I put the subliminal message in there? We're gonna find the audio, guys, and I want you guys to really hone in on the audio, and I want you to amplify it. And when you hear me laughing and saying, how much time did you just waste to do all this? You'll get my answer. Just saying. I'm one of those people that probably would sit in my car with a hairdryer and let you guys think I'm a cop. Or make you guys go a week with decaf and then put you guys like extra coffee. I could see myself doing that. I could see myself doing that. Okay, what did I do with my other phone? Uh-oh. Did I take it with me? I see emails coming in and I can't check the emails. Crap, what did I do with the other phone? Did I leave it there it is. Okay. Hold on, I saw emails come in. Let me check the emails. Now I can't check the text, but I can check the emails. Okay, so Pink just wrote and said, Terry Lynn that searches, she went from Hendersonville to the RV park in 2.5 hours, 3 times, guys. She said back roads. So if he's not pulling the RV, he could drive it. It gives him more time to get back. Remember, at the beginning, JLR went to the construction site. Wasn't a lot built then. Security chased him off. But that was probably 10 p.m. They have noise ordinance 7 till 5. Or 7 a.m. till 5, I believe, in the winter, and 7 till 7 in the summer. No weekends. Just wanted to tell you about the hours off, the drive. The drive is important, though, Pink. The drive, that's huge. So there's multiple ways. So I'll have to get with Terry Lynn when I get there, because she's gonna have to tell me what route because I'm gonna take one route and I'm gonna take her route, and Chris would know. He drives that enough that he would know anything that's gonna save him a little bit of time. I'm sorry, he knows the area very well. Apparently he grew up around there. So interesting. 2.5 hours, 3 times, guys. That cuts 45 minutes of his drive time down. 45 minutes. Two and a half hours. That means he would have had, in order to arrive to start work at 7, he would have had to leave it by 4:30. Between 4 and 4:30. That changes everything. Because that strange car was out in front of their house and on that security camera between 3:30 and 4. It's time to focus in on Chris. I know I'm right about this. I know I'm right about this. So let's focus on Chris. Get me your emails. Get me your perspectives. If you guys have any inside information, if you're from Memphis, I'd like to know a little more about there. If you're from, like, say, a county department, or you know somebody from a county department, you know this stuff inside and out, please reach out to me again. If you want to stay off the record, I'll keep you off the record. I'm looking for information. I'm not looking. I can run the story without using your name. You know, as you see, I can run a show all by myself, and you don't hear me throwing anybody's name out when I'm doing it, unless I'm running emails and they give me permission. You never hear me throwing names out. So I just want to say that I do have, you can go back, I can show my receipts. I don't throw people's names out, and I get a lot of information. So send it to me, talk to me. Let me know what you guys are thinking, feeling, seeing. Let me know when that construction site closes down. If you work at St. Jude's, even if you're not working on the construction site per se, like you're an admin, or you drop supplies there, you're a runner, a number of other jobs that aren't physical construction, like on the job, electrical, plumbing, stuff like that. If you are electrical, if you're in another trade and you're with a different company as a subcontractor, and you have some information about that site, or about Chris, or about that morning, that you're willing to share, again, if you want to be on the record, I could put you on the record. If you'd like to stay completely 100% anonymous, don't even want anybody knowing that I can do that too. As long as I have the information, I'll find a way to present it that nobody will even know. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it's about trying to get answers in this case. It's about putting the puzzle pieces in the right order. There is a father out there that is missing his son, truly missing his son. And we want to reunite that man with his son. I don't really care to reunite this boy with his mother, because his mother doesn't seem like she's really cares to see him, really is looking for him. So my only goal is to try to reunite Sebastian with his father. And every effort that we can put toward that end would be great. Morrow Construction, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Just take a picture of that. There we go. Morrow Construction, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Flint Construction does St. Jude's. I'll take a picture of that. We'll get to the bottom of it. I know that the heads of these things won't talk to me. I know their policies and procedures of big corporations, because I just know how it works. So I have to be creative. I hope I can see you when you come. Are you? Oh, are you? Where are you? Oh, you're in Hernando, aren't you? Or are you up in Tennessee? I probably shouldn't ask it. Don't answer that. Don't answer. You can answer me in an email or message, or do not answer that. Don't answer. I say stuff and I forget. I'm just talking. Don't answer that. As a mom, I would want people to know the meds and the. Yes, I know, Ginger. That's what I'm saying. Like every time we turned around, Chris didn't want to tell us squat, because he knows the less information out there, the more he can maneuver and manipulate. I never, I've tried my hardest to like this man. To trust this man, to believe this man and his wife, and I don't. They're full of shit. I'm sorry. I have a crap detector, and I smell a lot of crap. I'm just saying. So and I think that's pretty much it. I only ever heard CP tell us this and some random poster who said her son worked there with him, and he was there with her son then. Who knows if that's a lie? I know. That's why I have to trace all this stuff down. I have to trace all of this stuff down. It's not easy. I can tell you that. It's not easy, but you know what? At the end of the day, when we're honing in on the right information and we're putting the right pieces together, it's rewarding. It's rewarding to take the time and do it right. I'm just saying, Well, I think we could get, it might be possible that I could get an idea of the medication without even sharing the prescription, and just give an idea of what the withdrawals are, potentially. I could probably just see what kind of medications he would be on, and look at those medications and consider. I mean, we'll have a good understanding of what he's on for his chromosome deletion, because it's such a rare disease that I would only presume that there's very limited medical therapy options for him. So that should be fairly easy to crack without having to ask private information. And then would have to look at a number of other factors for the autism and some other stuff that he may possibly have. We could probably figure out at least what types of medications he could possibly be on with his medical history. And then work from that and determine what kind of withdrawals or side effects he would have with the lack of having medication. Because another thing that they were saying is, anybody looked at to see whenever his medication was last refilled. And I thought that was really clever, because there are a few people that believe that something else happened, like stranger danger, or that his mom took him to maybe a school somewhere or something like that. And so I was giving that some, some real thought, because we're speculating here. I mean, my theories are just that. They're theories. They could hold water, they could not hold water. One may hold more water than another, but the two main theories I started with that I just absolutely knew it had to be one of those two. Those are the first ones that went. I mean, those are literally the first theories that ended up getting cleared like right off the bat. And so it's like crap, So it's really crazy how this works, but there are some people that believe that he's in a school somewhere or went to Alaska, like they have different laws, and people have been working into those laws, and so I thought, well, if that was plausible, maybe we could potentially determine if there's been any recent medication refills. And somebody here in my audience sent that to me and said, hey, has anybody thought to check to see when the last time his medication was refilled? And I just thought, it's just simple stuff like that you don't think about. Like, I didn't think about that. And I would not think about that if it wasn't for one of my subscribers sending me an email. And now, after that, you kind of think about that. I wonder if they can check his medication to see if maybe he was prescribed something or something different after he disappeared, or if there is, he had a prescription refill that was picked up maybe somewhere in the United States, maybe not even in Tennessee. It's definitely a plausible, legitimate avenue that can be easily resolved by family, so hopefully family does look into that. At hospital Sunday, construction is usually not allowed to give patients quiet day. Construction companies usually make you turn in a brass or badge in when you get to the site. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I wonder what their protocols are there. I know I can talk to somebody. I know I can get, I know somebody will talk to me. I just need to be boots on the ground. I know I can get everything I need. I have never left a place without getting every single thing I've needed. So I know that once I get there, boots on the ground, I'm getting information, period. Okay. All right. Bug's got it. Hold on. Let me see what Bug's got. Thanks, Bug. Okay. So Bug says, I'm from Nashville area, born and raised, and I currently reside in I'm not going to put your, but we'll say Mississippi. I'm 10 to 15 minutes away from the Yogi Bear Park. I used to live in Memphis, and I have been in the area for 13 years. I can drive to Nashville on I-40 and make it in 2.5 hours from Memphis. It takes 2 hours and 50 minutes for me to take I-69 from Mississippi to I-40. In all honesty, believe he had the time to take that drive. If you need anything, let me know. Thank you, Bug. I appreciate that. So we're now cutting down drive time. So we now have drive time cut. So we went from 3 hours and 38 minutes. Wow. He told us it takes him 3 hours and 38 minutes from doorstep to doorstep or something like that. We just cut an hour out of his time. We just cut an hour out of his time. Wow. That is huge. Up to 2 hours and 50 minutes. But that time of night, we just cut an hour out of his drive time, y'all. So now we've got the potential of him being able to be there later and drive time. No, he said 3 hours. It's been 3 hours, Candace. Maybe you misunderstood that, and that's fine. I bounce around, but I know for a fact because I've been working on this, and I remember using his words. I remember him saying from door to door. I remember that. It's 3.5. It's 3.5 hours. Every time I did it on my maps, it was 3.5 hours. So I'm interested in finding out this 2.5 hour trip. And the during the day time with traffic, all during the day, 2.5 hours from Memphis. Wow. Bug, can you send me the directions that you drove for that 2.5 hours? please, love. Like, email that to me. I want to print that out and keep that with my paperwork, because that's going to be huge in one of my presentations when I get there. He would have had to take back roads, or he would have. Well, that's good. You know, I'm glad you guys are telling me this, because I was going to drive up I-40. Listen to this. I was going to drive up I-40, and every time there was an exit, I was going to turn off, but I was going to drive it at night, at that time of night, and see what was open. And every time I saw something open, I was going to drive there. And I have pictures of Chris, Katie, Sebastian, and I was going to drive there and start just hitting all those stores and everything until I start getting a hit that somebody saw him. And so, and I don't mind vocalizing this, because at the end of the day, what is he going to do? They either saw him or they didn't. He can't stop them from speaking to me, and he's not going to be able to hit every place he went, and nor does he want to be seen on camera at this point trying to influence people. I'm just saying. I absolutely believe he's under heavy surveillance right now. I believe law enforcement's got them, their phones. I think law enforcement's got them being tracked. I do. That's why Chris was so adamant, or no, I think it was Nick Barris that told Seth. I don't know. But no, it was Nick Barris on that interview, that one conversation he had where he was talking about how law enforcement will track you at least like 24 or 48 hours. I think that extends into a little bit lengthier time, because we found out just recently another case that was done that they had followed this guy for something like 2 freaking years. 2 years. Followed him for 2 years. Like, they don't go in here for a week or two, apparently. I thought that they had some limits on it, but after hearing I can't remember what one I was watching. I watch Court TV all the time, so it had to have been someplace on Court TV or one of my news things that are on the TV. That's all I listen to when I'm researching. I look up every now and again if something catches my curiosity. But it was, the cops followed him for 2 years. It might even have been the Gilgo Beach thing. It might even have, because I was sitting there with Miss Laura's when I was coming back from the quadruple homicide investigation, and she was watching the Gilgo Beach on her TV. I don't even know what channel it was, but she was watching that, and it might have been something like that. I might have heard it from that, as a matter of fact. I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was a story. It was just recently. And I heard that they were following their subject for something like 2 years. It was crazy. So I truly believe that it doesn't really matter at this point. It's a day late and $1 short. This is what I'm going to do. And I don't have a problem broadcasting it, because he's not going to be able to stop the work. He can probably throw a monkey wrench into it a little bit here or a little bit there. But other than that, there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot he's going to be able to do, except call law enforcement. And law enforcement is going to have the duty, which they can sit there and call every place and send an officer out there to tell them, don't talk to Bullhorn Betty. But what's the reality of that actually happening? 0. So, but I want to know where this man, and if all else fails, if they could send an officer out there, I guess I wouldn't need to go out there, right? Because they were going to send an officer out to all these different things. They might as well just go ahead and ask them right then and there while they're there. Did you see this guy? That's all I'm going to do. So if the officers are there, tell them not to talk to me. Show them a picture and see if he's been there. Do me a favor. Let me know. Send that to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, Ossifer. Thank you. We appreciate your service. So I want to know this route that's going to take 2.5 hours to Memphis. I want to be able to drive it. I want to be able to show my audience this. This is going to be crucial in building this out. If there's a way to get there that cuts an hour out of the time, I want to know it. So we're going to do that. We're going to, and that gives me, and that's going to be a different direction. That means there's going to be something open that night. He would have had to stop for gas, y'all. He's in a freaking pickup truck. I'm sorry. 2.5 hours there and 2.5 hours back. That's probably close to a tank of gas. He had to stop for gas. I'm going to find where he stopped for gas. He stopped for gas somewhere. He had to have. So this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So we're going to need to Keep going down. Bug, this is great. Send me the route there. I want to see it. We're going to drive it when we're there. We're going to time it. We're going to drive it. Yep, he said 3 hours and 37 minutes door to door. Tammy, I think we just shaved an hour off that. And I think we just confirmed that he probably wasn't at work at 5:15. So now we have extra time to work with. This is taking shape, y'all. It's taking shape. So let's keep working at it. Let's keep working at it. Send me what you guys have. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I'm going to work on my end. Now it's kind of, I've got to read all these emails, right? You guys send me a mess of emails, but we wouldn't have it all together if it wasn't for all these mess of emails. But it's only me back here. So you guys know how lengthy your emails have been getting. And I read them. So if you want to help speed me along, just a little, if you guys want to chit chat, I love it. But, maybe the stuff with the information, maybe kind of cut to the point. In some of them, but I do appreciate it. Now I do appreciate it. I don't want to change anything that you guys are doing. You guys have been great. You guys have really been explaining stuff to me. I mean, it was amazing how many moms that came out to tell me about their children, their autistic children, and their children on the spectrum and stuff like that. You'll never know how invaluable that is for me. I don't have children on the spectrum. I haven't dealt with children on the spectrum. So somebody like me is absolutely, I mean, we hear about it, but we don't understand it. We're absolutely ignorant. And I will say that in everything about it, absolutely ignorant when it comes to children on the spectrum or autism. People that don't deal with it, they have no clue. Even the stuff that they know, yeah, they may have a little, they don't know. Okay? So I didn't know. I feel like I know a little better than I did. I don't think I'll ever know everything because I don't live it every day like the beautiful parents that watch my show. But because of them, I got a better education on it. I can come from a place that has knowledge now, where I was coming from a place of pure ignorance. And it was very overwhelming, and to see the love that these parents have, and reading these emails, I think they were, what broke my heart about it so much, of reading one email after another email, is these parents really cared about their children. They loved their children. They loved even the meltdowns. They wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. And to hear their hearts in these stories that they gave me about their children. And then I look over at Katie and Chris and just, I don't feel what I feel in these emails from my audience, from them. That's what breaks my heart about it, is that I just feel like I wish he had the mommies and daddies that are in my chat. I feel like he would have been a much better person if he had a mommy and daddy that were in my chat. But he got Chris and Katie, and here we are. So the thing about Sebastian being hidden in somewhere is his shoes. Why wouldn't, the shoes bother me. The shoes have, that's been one thing that has bothered me about Sebastian's case from the very beginning, when I started saying, because I don't think I got it at first, but I caught on to it very, very, very quickly. I'm like, the shoes is a little weird, but kid walking, But when I found out how important those shoes were to Sebastian, that's when I realized that there's something seriously wrong here. It wasn't until that point, I realized that it wasn't, I think it was when I heard Seth's story for the first time about the ants. That's when it solidified me, because by that time I had already read some emails from parents and stuff like that about, some of their child behaviors and what created those child behaviors. And usually it's a traumatic experience for that child that created this behavior. And we have, in this situation, a traumatic experience for Sebastian, getting eaten up by ants. That was traumatic for him. And of course, because of that trauma, he has mitigated that trauma, because that's the way his brain works. And so how he does that is by putting shoes on. If he puts shoes on, he knows he doesn't have to worry about ants biting him. And so he just knew that, and that's what he does. He doesn't want, he equates with going outside without his shoes as stepping in an ant pile. Or it just might be something that he just, over time just decided to do. I'm not sure. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, so that's really all I have. I'm just going to be waiting for your emails to come through, any information. Again, we're still trying to find somebody that will speak to me from there, but it doesn't really matter. When I get into town, that's going to be one of the first things I get off. I want to know what in the world is Chris's alibi. Where the hell was he? What was he doing? Could he have been at work at 5:15? If he could be, I'll let you know he could be. I got no reason to lie. I got no dog in this fight. All I want is the truth. That's all I give a rat's ass about. If it's not Chris and Katie, I want the right person. Amy in the right place, right? Amy in the right place. But right now, I've got a mom and a stepdad. They're acting fishy and funny, and a child is missing from their home that was secured and locked. Period. End of story. If she was in Florida, her ass would be in jail. End of story. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't believe their story. I've presented everything I can possibly present to show you how much Katie Proudfoot's story has changed from the beginning to where we are today. That does not happen when somebody is telling the truth. It just does not. And then now it's time to go to Chris. Crystal Clear Chris. Which reminds me, I need to finish the shirts. Crap. My to-do list is getting longer. If anybody wants to be my assistant, please apply within. It doesn't pay well. It pays literally nothing. And it's a pain in the ass. And I'm a pain in the ass. But if you can deal with it, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you. Oh, good gracious. All right, guys. I love you. God bless. I'll be back later today. And we'll see you guys soon. Sounds like another YouTube.